Good evening, and welcome to Mountain Lake Files. I hope you all enjoyed last night's introduction to the channel. You know, when we left that diner and we went outside, Brian had sat us at a picnic table. He then went to the truck, his truck, and started gathering all these boxes and putting them up on the hood of his truck. And my husband and I looked at each other and we were wondering, what is he doing? And he came over to the table with one of the boxes, and in it had castings, which brings me to the second part of the story. One of those castings had me almost frozen, and the emotion that I was feeling inside my chest and my stomach were kind of like, doing flips inside my body as I looked at this casting. This casting at the time was behind glass. This casting was taken at the foot of the mountain that we live at. This casting gave me so much clarity and validation of the sounds that I was hearing the end of that winter into that early spring, which by then I had already told my husband of the sounds I had been hearing. And the reason I didn't tell him at first was because I didn't want my husband up all hours of the night outside listening for these sounds. And also I wasn't really sure what I was hearing, although I was pretty sure. And although I was pretty sure, that spring and summer came and went, and the following year in 2020, y'all know what came in 2020, and things in life were pretty unimaginable. And then the unimaginable became our reality. And the things that came, we, just like everyone else, was questioning a lot of things. And anyway, we went and put in an order. And, we were getting our 308. And here in the Adirondacks of New York, you need to go to a certified person to pick up certain things. And that day gave me more validation than I ever thought would come about. That's where we met our friend Bob. Bob is a very good man. Then we started talking, and we got into conversation, and we started talking about things that happen here in the mountains and the lakes, and we started talking about different things that we see and hear, and we come to the conversation where we were talking about Bigfoot Sasquatch. And that's where things got really real. He started talking about a story that we already knew about that came from Brian. That April of the casting, that I'm showing here, that casting was his neighbor. And I knew that that man wanted to be left anonymous. And I respect that. So, as he told us the story from his side about the man who called Brian to come do the casting, later on, I got thinking, like, geez, as the crow flies, that's pretty much our backyard. Not far. And the size of this thing made me feel that much more uneasy. That evening, Bob had told us that when his neighbor had called finally, it was hours after he had called Brian and got the casting, and he's like, geez, that was like 3.5 hours ago, you know. They wanted to kind of follow this, something that left that big print. So that's how I became to believe in the unimaginable, the unthinkable of the encounters and stories that you only hear about became very real for me. See, I'm not the kind of person who believes in coincidences. I believe everything that happens in life is for a reason, and that it's meant to be. And the synchronicities of these things all coming together was just too real to ignore. And I couldn't help but paying attention to it. Although I still always question everything. So now that brings me to the question for y'all listening. What do y'all believe? Do you believe in coincidences? Or do you believe in everything happens for a reason? Do you believe certain events that take place in your life just kind of fall randomly? Or do you find synchronicities? I don't believe in coincidences, but I'd like to hear your thoughts about those things. So leave me a comment. My email is also in my About section and right here on screen if you'd like to jot it down. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for stopping over here at Mountain Lake Files. And I hope you're looking forward to hearing more from myself, my family, and other stories and encounters we'll be getting into in the near future. Have a great night.